The last team to successfully defend a FIFA World Cup title did it in 1962. Think about that. More than 60 years ago, before the internet, before smartphones, before social media, before the Super Bowl became America's biggest sporting event. For over 6 decades, every defending champion has tried to repeat the feat, and every single one has failed. Germany failed. Spain failed. France failed. Some didn't even survive the group stage. The World Cup has a way of humbling champions. It doesn't care what happened 4 years ago. It doesn't care how many trophies sit in your cabinet. Every tournament begins with the same question. Can you do it again? Tonight, Argentina begins its attempt to answer that question. And standing at the center of the story is a man the world already considers a legend. Lionel Messi, 38 years old, 6 World Cups, countless records. A career that has inspired an entire generation of football fans. And yet somehow, there is still something left to prove. Because greatness is never satisfied. Greatness always searches for one more challenge, one more mountain, one more chapter. And that's why this match matters. Not because it's a final, not because a trophy will be lifted tonight, but because championships are defended long before the final whistle of a final. They're defended in opening matches. They're defended when expectations are at their highest. They're defended when the pressure feels impossible to carry. And nobody understands pressure better than Lionel Messi. For nearly 20 years, Messi has carried the hopes of Argentina every tournament. Every qualifier, every World Cup, every generation has looked toward him for answers. At times, the pressure seemed unfair. People compared him to Maradona. People questioned whether he could ever lead Argentina to glory. People doubted him, again and again. And for years, the World Cup remained just out of reach. Finals lost. Heartbreak endured. Dreams shattered. Yet he kept coming back, year after year, tournament after tournament, failure after failure, until finally, in Qatar 2022, everything changed. The image of Messi lifting the World Cup trophy became one of the defining moments in sports history. Not just football history, sports history. It was the ending every fan dreamed about. The perfect ending. At least that's what everyone thought. Because after achieving the impossible, most legends walk away. Most legends choose comfort. Most legends protect their legacy. But Messi returned because he wasn't finished. And now he begins what could be the final World Cup journey of his life. Yet if Argentina believes this opening match will be easy, they're making a dangerous mistake. Because standing across from them is Algeria, a team the casual fan may underestimate, a team that doesn't receive the same headlines, a team that isn't expected to win, and that is exactly what makes them dangerous. For 12 long years, Algeria has waited to return to football's biggest stage. 12 years. Think about that. An entire generation of players dreamed about this opportunity. An entire nation waited for this moment. And now that moment has finally arrived. They didn't stumble into the tournament. They earned it. 8 victories in 10 qualifying matches. 25 points. One of the strongest qualifying campaigns in Africa. This is not a team happy to simply participate. This is a team that believes it belongs. And belief can be a powerful weapon, especially at the World Cup. Because every 4 years, the tournament reminds us of one simple truth. Anything can happen. The World Cup is where giants fall. It's where unknown heroes are born. It's where underdogs become legends. And Algeria arrives believing it can become the next great World Cup story. Leading that charge is Riyad Mahrez, one of the most talented footballers Africa has ever produced. Premier League champion, Champions League winner, a player who has spent years competing against the best defenders on earth. Mahrez understands pressure. He understands big moments. And most importantly, he understands opportunity. Because opportunities like this don't come often. When you're facing the defending world champions, the entire world is watching. One goal, one assist, one magical moment. And suddenly your name is part of football history forever. That's the motivation driving Algeria tonight. Not fear, not pressure, opportunity. Because nobody expects them to win. And sometimes, that freedom makes a team even more dangerous. Argentina knows this better than anyone. Why? Because they lived through it. In 2022, Argentina entered the World Cup as one of the favorites. They faced Saudi Arabia in their opening match. Experts predicted victory. Fans predicted victory. The world predicted victory. Then something unbelievable happened. Saudi Arabia won. The football world exploded. Pundits panicked. Headlines questioned Argentina. Critics declared the dream was over. Yet that shocking defeat became the beginning of something extraordinary. Argentina responded with 6 consecutive victories. And by the end of the tournament, they stood on top of the world. That experience taught them a lesson they'll never forget. Never underestimate your opponent. Not at the World Cup. Not ever. Because one mistake can change everything. One lapse in concentration. One defensive error. One missed opportunities. And suddenly the entire tournament feels different. That's why tonight matters so much. There is another player worth watching. A player casual fans often overlook. Rodrigo De Paul. He doesn't score the spectacular goals. He doesn't receive the loudest cheers. He doesn't dominate the headlines. But he may be one of the most important players in this entire Argentina squad. Because every great artist needs protection. And De Paul protects Messi. When Messi attacks, De Paul covers. When Messi creates space, De Paul fights for it. When Argentina loses possession, De Paul works relentlessly to win it back. He is the engine, the heartbeat, the invisible force that keeps the machine moving. Many players from Argentina's 2022 championship team have spoken about his importance. Some even described him as one of the keys to winning the World Cup. Now, years later, he remains by Messi's side, still running, still fighting, still sacrificing, because championships are won by stars. But they're also won by players willing to do the work nobody notices. As kickoff approaches, the atmosphere inside the stadium grows louder. Tens of thousands of fans fill the seats. Flags wave through the air. Anticipation builds with every passing second. For Algeria, this is the chance to shock the world. For Argentina, it's the first step toward history. A history that no team has managed to achieve for more than 60 years. The opportunity to defend a World Cup title. The opportunity to silence the curse. The opportunity to build a dynasty. And for Lionel Messi, the opportunity to create one final masterpiece. Because deep down, everyone understands what this tournament means. There will never be another first World Cup for Messi. There will never be another 6th World Cup. There may never be another chance quite like this. The clock is ticking. The final chapters are being written, and football fans across the globe know they're witnessing something special. Not just a match, not just a tournament, a moment in history. So when the whistle finally blows tonight, remember what's truly at stake. A defending champion chasing immortality, an underdog chasing destiny, a legend chasing one final dream. Argentina versus Algeria, one match, 90 minutes. Countless possibilities. Will Messi begin his final World Cup journey with victory? Will Argentina take the first step toward ending a 60-year curse? Or will Algeria deliver a shock that echoes through football history for generations? Nobody knows. And that's exactly why the World Cup remains the greatest sporting event on earth. Because football doesn't follow scripts, it creates moments. And the next unforgettable moment is about to begin.